All right, guys, the NFL awards market available in the DK Sportsbook. Lots and lots of goodness to choose from. Comeback Player of the Year. This is on your screen. Derrick Henry, the favorite, but there's tons more to choose from. Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. What do we have for Coach of the Year, by the way? Oh, Brandon Staley. Boring. All right, Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp. Boring. Geoff, Ulrich, Pearce, Dietrich. DraftKings contributors. Not boring. Nope. Couple meat wagons here. Let's talk some favorite bets, guys, on NFL Comeback Player of the Year. That's the one we'll focus on right now. And it looks more like a list of Pro Bowlers with names like Derrick Henry and Deshaun Watson, like Michael Thomas, Christian McCaffrey. So right now, Derrick Henry is the favorite, again, at plus 300. Here we go. Deshaun Watson second, Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas. Oh, my God. All right, who would your bet be? Let's go, Pearce.
Derrick Henry is an obvious play here at the top. You got to agree with him having the odds that he has. The Titans are expected to draft for the offensive line, so they're going to get improvement there. And they still got Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, so expect the Titans to continue to run the ball. And in the limited sample size from last season, he was actually catching the balls out of the backfield for the first time ever. And then another thing on top of it is typically at the end of a season, Henry just gets driven into the ground with carry after carry by the Titans in November and December and January. This is the freshest that he's come into the league probably since his rookie season. I wouldn't be surprised to see him become an MVP candidate.
Ulrich, you're not sleeping on Travis Etienne, are you? Down here, Jaguars running back, said yesterday, dude,
Okay.
The best year to miss. The best year to miss his rookie year because of the disaster that was Urban Meyer.
I guess that's one way to look at it. You know, he's coming in with fresh legs. I guess that's something to consider. No, I'm not in on Travis Etienne.
Okay.
I don't really know why Derrick Henry is even in the Comeback Player of the Year. He missed like 8 games. That's just like a regular season for an NFL.
And he already came back. He came back in the playoffs.
But that's what I mean. He already came back.
I
Exactly.
agree.
Like, why is he even in this? Why is he the favorite? This makes no sense. Christian McCaffrey has played 10 games over the last 2 years. If he plays 15 games this year, that's a comeback. Cam Akers blew out his Achilles and came back for the playoffs. If he comes back to form, that's a comeback. Those are the running backs I'd much rather target at plus 800 or plus 1,000. I just think it's a better story. This is about performance, obviously, but it's also about the story. Joe Burrow, the story of coming back from the blown ACL, the blown knee, and then going to the Super Bowl. Those are the kind of things you should be chasing. I think Akers and McCaffrey for running backs anyways, far more interesting.
Well, aside from Deshaun Watson here, let's see. Jameis Winston, Daniel Jones, Mitch Trubisky. This is real-life Mitch Trubisky, not Madden Mitch, Geoff. Which quarterback stands out to you the most?
Yeah, I think for this award, I'd much rather go down to these quarterbacks. It's a quarterback-driven league. We talk about this all the time. If you're betting these awards, the quarterbacks win them all the time. And again, it was between Dak and Joe Burrow last year. I think Mitch Trubisky is interesting. I would rather go down further, though, to Marcus Mariota. Again, he's got a chance in Atlanta, who's not going to have a good defense. If he starts all their games, he's going to put up career numbers. And yes, is Atlanta going to challenge for the NFC South title? Well, if they even just get slightly in the mix and Mariota puts up career numbers, he's going to have a great chance of winning this. He's a former first-round pick. He's a wholesome dude, a guy that the league is probably going to get behind as well. So I think at plus 1,200, Marcus Mariota, probably my favorite of the quarterback, probably just my favorite pick overall from a long shot perspective.
Okay, Pearce, do you agree with that?
No, I don't. So the problem with the other quarterback, I like Mitch. We talk about Mitch all the time here in the offseason. You go back to the 2020 episodes that we did. We talked about Mitch every single week. He's talented. Hopefully he has matured in his season in Buffalo, and he's going to a really good spot with a lot of weapons. Najee Harris is an elite running back. He had amazing numbers given that his offensive line was absolutely miserable. There's really good receivers on this Pittsburgh team. So, yeah, the line is a bit of an issue, but hopefully if they're healthy, they're going to be better. And you look at the other quarterbacks, they have the same problems. Every one of the quarterbacks on this list have poor offensive lines. They also have half the weapons that Mitch Trubisky is going to have. But another thing, when we talk about Joe Burrow winning this award, they won games. That is a big deal. If you help your team win games and get to the playoffs, that's an extra statistical category that will help you win this award. And when we look at who's going to win games, I think Trubisky has the best bet of winning games.
All right, who's a longer shot you think could sneak up and win this award, Pearce? Billy, follow me, please. Robert Woods
Khalil Mack
plus
at
1,200.
1,800.
Here
If
we
he
go.
can jump in here and join the Chargers defense and take them from the worst rush defense in the league to just average, then they're going to win the AFC West. They will be Super Bowl contenders. Now, Herbert and Eckler, they'll all get the credits, but most people will know that if Mack goes in there and transforms his defense, then he's worth the award. The other guy with even longer odds, Max Williams at 5,000. The Cardinals are thin with pass catchers. Hopkins, we don't know what his health is. He's getting up there in years. Edmonds is gone. Christian Kirk is gone. His volume could increase. You look at the small sample size, which was roughly 3 games last year. He caught 16 passes, 193 yards. That's 5 catches, 75 yards a game. If you multiply that, for a 17-game season, that's an 85 reception season for 1,275 yards. That might seem like a stretch, but he is really the only weapon on this offense right now that maybe we can count on. I would not be surprised to see Williams go for over 1,000 yards receiving. If that's the case, he's got a really good shot at being the comeback player of the year.
If I give Geoff the option to go Max Williams or his boy Dan Arnold, Jaguars tight end, you loved this dude last year before his injury, Geoff. He's plus 5,000.
I do love him, but look, if any one of these tight ends win comeback player of the year, it's going to be the upset of upsets here. I mean, I like these guys, but like we need like 100-catch season, I think, for them to take over some of these days. Again, we're talking Pro Bowlers at the top here. So Dan Arnold, Max Williams, I got some love for them, but I mean, not that much. I'd rather go to DJ Chark at plus 2,800. If the Lions don't draft a wide receiver, Chark's going to be that main outside guy starting. And I mean, like, I know Pearce thinks the Lions are like the reincarnation of the 1990 Dallas Cowboys, but it's still a pretty bad team that's probably going to be down a lot. DJ Chark could easily put up like an 80 reception, 1,000-yard season here. Those are pretty decent odds. I would rather gamble on Chark, who, again, has the metrics to be like a top-end wide receiver. He's always had the talent. He just hasn't been consistent. If he can play all the games, and he's got a better shot. I know the odds are shorter, but he's got a better shot at winning than like backup tight end.
Dude, relax, man. You never know. Trevor Lawrence is going to have a
never
breakout.
know.
Trevor Lawrence is going to have a breakout year. Arnold could have like 10 touchdown receptions next season.
Hey,
Who the hell?
DJ Chark is a former Jaguar. You should be getting behind that.
Yeah, you know what? I love him, and I appreciate everything he did for the franchise. So, Geoff, your early pick to win NFL Comeback Player of the Year, it sounds like it's Marcus Mariota.
It is Marcus Mariota. I mean, Pearce is right. They got to win games, but I think if Atlanta is anything competitive, Marcus Mariota is going to get all the credit. He could put up, 1,000 yards rushing or something crazy like that. He's just super talented. I think he's the type of player that the media will get behind too if he starts well.
Okay, Pearce.
J.K. Dobbins at 1,100. We've forgotten all about this guy. Look at his rookie season. 134 carries for 805 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry. We're not talking about 6 yards per carry for a game or two. 134 carries for 6 yards per carry in his rookie season. And that was a COVID rookie season where he didn't get off-season workouts. He didn't get a preseason. He was just thrown straight into the fire, and he was splitting carries with Ingram and Bradley and with Lamar Jackson. He will have, if he is healthy, I imagine J.K. Dobbins goes for 1,400 yards. And at that point, it's really hard to not give him the comeback player of the year.
That was so brutal for the Ravens, where it felt like 4 days in a row they lost all of their running backs to injuries. Like that really sucked for them. Before you guys go, before you guys go, how great does Derek Carr have it after he was given the contract extension this morning, Geoff? So 3 years, $121.5 million with the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically saying that Derek Carr is like 85%, 90% of Aaron Rodgers. It's a pretty nice situation. Now he's got Devontae Adams, the Vegas, obviously, the new stadium to play behind. I don't know. I mean, Derek Carr, I think kind of just gets overlooked in the league. Like he is a solid quarterback. I mean, you look at his metrics and it plays out that he should be considered as like a top 10 just in terms of like a pocket passer. So I think it does make sense that, if you weren't going to get behind Derek Carr, what's the better option out there? The answer is there wasn't one. That's why he got paid.
Is this absurd to you, Pearce?
You know who it's absurd to? His brother David, who never had an offensive line.
Yeah.
What could he have been if he had an offensive line? Man, he's got to be so jealous and resentful. Meanwhile, his brother has Devontae Adams and Darren Waller to throw to and living in Las Vegas. Yeah, that's absurd.
David Carr gets to work in sports media, man. It's a dream job of us. I mean,
it's true.
Job.